So when I'm talking about private equity here, I'm really not talking about Mitt Romney private equity. I'm talking about local wealthy investor private equity. From the standpoint of a local wealthy investor that's going to be investing in local companies or local real estate opportunities, there's a great need to protect that investment. And it's really sad to see sometimes people that have worked very hard to amass a substantial amount of wealth, invest it into some enterprise that they obviously believe is going to be successful, but it's not managed properly, their investment is not protected properly, and the investment can disappear rapidly. There are some things that an investor can do to protect that investment. First thing I want to talk about is operationally protecting the investment. One of the things that I believe investors need to do to protect their investment, beyond just securing the investment with liens or with financing statements that may get recorded with the Secretary of State. I'm not talking about that sort of protection. I'm talking about monitoring what's going on in the company that they've invested in, or what's going on in the real estate that they've invested in. This can actually be quite a difficult thing to do, because you can have a situation where you think you know what's going on, but really you're just being shined on by somebody who's telling you what they want you to hear. So you need to have some levers in place so that you have the right to get in and see what's happening. Look at the books, tour the facility, actually get a sense for what's going on. Well, maybe you don't want to spend your time doing that. Maybe you've got too many of those irons in the fire for it to be practical for you to attempt to do all of that yourself. That's fine. In fact, that's great. That means you've amassed a lot of wealth if there's that much that's out there in those different enterprises. But it can't be ignored. And so it's very important that if you're not going to do it yourself, that you have trusted counsel or somebody on your staff that can go in and monitor what's happening. Interview these people. Let's put some structure to this. Let's make sure that there's some accountability for what's going on with your investment. Some of that needs to be bargained for at the beginning of the investment. Some of it can be written into an operating agreement if you're investing into an LLC. It doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to try to micromanage this business. That's probably not what you want to do, but still, everybody will be better served if there's accountability to the investment that you've made in a business. So that's the first thing to do. Get some operational control over that business. Or if not control, operational oversight over that business so you can really see what's happening. I have seen people who are very cautious people and very loath to spend money research and be very careful, do a lot of due diligence in deciding which camera they're going to purchase. Because it's a big investment. This thing's going to cost $2,000 maybe. It's a really nice camera. And they don't want to just spend that money without making sure that it's the best camera and it's going to be reliable, and let's see what the warranty is on this. And it's really not unusual for people to spend a significant amount of time and effort vetting that sort of purchase, and yet invest $1 million with somebody that they know and trust, usually, and do very little in terms of oversight, very little monitoring what's happening with my money, what's going to happen if a couple of these different possibilities play out. Happens all the time. It's mind-boggling, but it's not unusual. I see it. I don't want to say it's the norm, but it's close to being the norm. I know a guy who invested over $1 million into a company that was developing organic fertilizer. It was literally bullshit that he was investing in. And he lost almost all of his money. Very cautious guy, no dummy, that's for sure. He was the sort of guy who was very careful about these other kinds of purchases that I was just talking about. Yet he got taken in this other situation here where he was just unaware of what was going on, and he would get an occasional report from the business owner that led him to believe that things were going fine, but didn't turn out the way he wanted. A friend of mine who's a very successful investor, really successful investor, most of his investments are in the real estate arena. He had a great saying. I don't even know if he made it up, but I hadn't heard it before. He says, "You don't get what you expect. You get what you inspect." Thank you for watching my video. If you have any questions or comments for me, please feel free to contact me. Otherwise, have a look at some of the other videos in my series.